Today, more than 70% of the diseases are because of the derangement in the lifestyle. So, which are called as lifestyle disorders or lifestyle induced disorders. So, why it is happening and what are the causes and how we can prevent these kind of diseases, which is exactly told in the Ayurveda. That is called as Swastha Vrittam. So, today our topic is Dinacharya. So Dinacharya means what? The daily routine. Dinacharya. That means you are supposed to do it every day. You are supposed to follow it every day. That is called as Dinacharya. When the person gets up in the morning till he goes to the bed. So that routine is called as Dinacharya. So people, those who are in 30s or 40s, they will think, okay, since every day, I am getting up and doing my routines, and what is special that I have to follow? So in the life, if you make small changes according to the health, then there will be lot of changes when you consider towards the end of an year. So one day, if you get up little early, then if you do it every day, ultimately it gives you a good health. Dinacharya Adhyaya, Acharya has mentioned, Brahme Muhurte Uttishthel, Swastha, Rakshartham Ayusha. So, the person who is having a desire to improve their health should get up early in the morning. Rakshartham Ayusha, it is mentioned. That means to protect the Ayus or lifespan. You are supposed to get up early morning. That means in the Brahma Muhurta. So once we understand the importance of the Brahma Muhurta Uttishta, then only we will be having a tendency to get up little early than used to. So what are the significance? In the early morning, the body and mind will be having its full potential. So we can be more productive. So in this era, in all professions, there are competitions. So once we are not productive, then we will not be in the job. So that is a situation. So what happens if you get up so early means we can use our body and mind of its best. So that is the benefit of Brahma Muhurta Uttishtanam. So what happens a person is going to bed so late, then there's a chance of getting up late. So what happens? Ratrau Jagaranam Ruksham Snigdham Praswapanam Diva is mentioned in the Ayurveda Samhita. So that means Ratrau Jagaranam Ruksham. If you are getting up at night or if you are going to bed so late, there is a chance of increase in the Vayu in the body. That means indirectly it is affecting the dryness. So the body will be so dry, so indirectly it will reduce the immunity. Because we consider immunity as the Prakrita Kabham, that means the moisture or pure form of Kabham. So when there is an increased level of Vayu in the body, there is a chance of drying up the Prakrita Kabham, that pure Kabha. So that will affect the immunity. So which is very important in this era, that means the corona era, people are so much mentioning about the immunity. So without taking any medicine, only by changing the lifestyle, we can do so many things to improve our immunity, and this is one among them. So what happens when a person is having a habit of sleeping at 12:30 in the night and getting up at 8:30 in the morning? So the habits can be changed, but the body should not know about it. So for 1 week, the person can go to bed at 12 o'clock and get up at 8 o'clock. And after 1 week, again they can reduce the timing, and gradually he can have a good habit. And the other thing is, what happens when a person is having a night shift? So Brahma Muhurtam Uttishtam is not practically possible, and he cannot quit his job and sit at home only by looking after the body. So what is the practical way we can do? Sleeping continuously till 8-9 o'clock is not so healthy. So suppose a person is coming back from the job around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, he can sleep around 6 o'clock and have a break and do your routine and eat breakfast, and then he can sleep for a while. That will give a healthy life as compared to the continuous sleep from 4 o'clock till 9 or 10 o'clock. So what a person do immediately after getting up? Sharira chindam nirvritya kruda shauja vidhistada is mentioned. So what is that? Sharira chindam nirvritya means the person has to analyze ourselves, whether the previous day food has digested or not, whether the sleep was sufficient or not. We should give some time for the body, or you should give a me time, which is very important to analyze ourselves. No doctor can understand what is happening inside the body. I'm not talking about the disease and diagnosing it, but what are the derangement is happening inside, one should understand and analyze ourselves, which is very important. That is called as Sharira Chindam Nirvritya. So there was a habit after getting up we used to do, that is chanting a shloka by looking at the hand. That is Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule Sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam, Samudravasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandite, Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam, Padasparisham Kshamaswame. This is the shloka. So after chanting this, we have to get the blessing from the earth. So we just touch and keep it over the head. So this is like transforming the energy or the earthing the energy. And you will get some time to analyze ourselves. And there will be a lot of positivity in the body, so that positivity we can carry throughout the day. This was the system behind it. But by the name of God, we all will follow that. So after getting up, you just sit and close your eyes and just observe your breath. So if you're doing, or if you're continuing meditation like that, please clean your bowel and then start the meditation. Otherwise, just close your eyes and observe the breath, because the incoming breath can energize you and the outgoing breath can relax you. That gives you detoxification. So the detoxification and the rejuvenation are happening in every second of your life. So just think about it and close your eyes and observe your breath. This is a very good thing once you're getting up in the morning. That is called as Sharira Chindam Nirvritya. Then you can understand yourself in a better way. So next is Krita Shaucha Vidhistada. So immediately after that, you are supposed to clean your bowel, which is very important. But nowadays, many people, they are not at all aware about the bowel movement. Just because it doesn't look good, that is why many people doesn't talk about the bowel movement, but which is very important in the health maintenance. And interestingly, there is a lot of connection between the constipation and depression. There are many people, those who have constipated, have got the problem of depression. And why it is so? There is a concept called Vayu and Mana. So there is a lot of relationship between the mind and the Vayu, because mind is always moving and very difficult to control. And without the presence of mind, we can't do anything. Same with the Vayu. Very difficult to control, always moving, and without the presence of Vayu, we can't do any movements in the body. So that is why, according to Ayurveda, if there is any problem with the mind, starting from a small anxiety to the greater, the excessive craziness, we treat the Vayu instead of treating mind. That means indirectly the mind also settles. So from this we can understand, once you have not evacuated your bowel completely, then how it is affecting the mind. That is the reason many people, those who have constipated, have got the problem of depression. Here I would like to tell you about a problem called hysteria. That means it is a mental disorder. But hyster means uterus, and hysteria becomes a mental disorder. So why it is so? Hysteria means those who are having a periods problem, then they are getting the problem with the mind, because the main place of Vayu is the lower abdomen, and the Vayu is controlling all the functions of the excretion and the menstruation. So if there is any derangement in the Apana Vayu, then it can cause the problem with the mind. So this is how the Vayu is directly related with the mind. So what people used to do, they give you antidepressive medicine and so many sedative kind of thing, but it just suppressed, it is not cured completely. So these kind of relationship between the Vayu and the mind are very important. So we can understand the importance of evacuation of the bowel every day. These kind of habits we can cultivate from the childhood. And the body loves regularity. The biological cycle loves regularity. So for a child, we can cultivate the habit of regular bowel habits by keeping him in the toilet at the same time every day. Maybe for 1 week nothing will happen. Then after that his body will be responding to that timing. So that cultivating a habit is also very important from the childhood. So there is a beautiful concept called Achamanam. So after we evacuating the bowel, we are supposed to clean our or disinfect the hand and feet. Not only after the evacuation of the bowel we have to do, but also there are many other conditions we are supposed to disinfect our hand and the feet. So which is very important, or that principle is very important nowadays. The process of Achamanam is very significant in this corona era because disinfecting the hand and feet. In olden days, they used to do it with puttumanna, that means a special mud. With that, they used to clean the hand and feet and the orifices. So the Achamanam has to be done after coming back from somewhere, and before and after having food, before going to worship, after sneezing, after coughing, after a huge laugh, and after getting up for the bed, before going to the bed, and after touching the bodily oozings. So this is very important, and there's the same principle the doctors are spreading nowadays to prevent coronavirus. The principles of Achamanam is applicable even nowadays. Next is told about the brushing the teeth. It looks very silly, but there is significance behind it. Arkam nigrodha khadira karanja kagubhadigam pradarbhuktvacha mridvagram kashaya kadudiktegam kanini samasthulam pragunam dwadashangulam bhakshayed dandapavanam dandamamsanyabadhayal is the shloka of the brushing the teeth. So why it is so important? So in olden days brush was not available, so they used to make a brush, that means branch of a tree they cut into small pieces, that means about 12 angula, that means 8 inches. So by crushing one end of that branch of a tree, they used to clean the teeth. So nowadays it is not practically possible. We cannot climb the tree every day morning. That is not a practical way. But what the principle behind it means, in between the teeth there should be cleanliness. So the hygiene is a very important thing, and they used to do it what is locally available at that time. The plants they were used, they are of the taste of pungent, bitter and astringent. So what is the significance of these three tastes? Because that is having a scraping capacity, that means Vaishadhyagaram. It is having a capacity to clean the slough or the unwanted kapha in the body. So that is why, just imagine that when you eat so much of spicy things, that creates ulcer in the body, because that is having a scraping capacity inside the lumen. So that is why, because these three taste is having a quality, it cleans. So to clean the teeth, it is better you use the materials which is having a bitter, astringent or pungent in the taste. But one thing you have to keep it in the mind, along with brushing your teeth, please use your finger to clean your teeth, because the pressure from the finger is very important, especially for a growing child, because the derangement of the teeth will be removed if you do the brushing with your finger every day. Next in the Dinacharya, it is mentioning about Nasyam and Gandusha Dharanam. Nasya means nasal drops and Gandusha Dharana means oil pulling. So what is the significance of Nasya and Gandusha Dharana? So Nasya comes under the Panchakarma, one among the Panchakarma, that means the 5 eliminatory procedures. The main opening for the head is the nose. That is why Nasyam is very important. But as an inpatient, when you undergo the Nasyam, it is a very complicated, or it is a very long process. That means the person has to do Abhyangam, oil application over the face, and do the steam bath, and somebody else has to give you the nasal drops. And you are supposed to inhale, and whatever is coming to your mouth, you are supposed to spit it out. But in the Dinacharya, it is very simple. You just need to keep 1 or 2 drops of the particular oil and just keep it beneath your nostrils and inhale, and same with the other nostril. So there will be some phlegm comes inside the mouth, that you have to spit it out. This is a very simple process. You can do it in a minute. सुस्निग्धवदना स्निग्धनिस्वना विमलेन्द्रिया निर्वलीव पलितव्यङ्गा भवेयु नस्यशीलिना. This is the benefit of doing nasya every day as a part of dinacharya. So snigdhavadana, that means there will be enhancement of the glow of the face, and everybody needs that. So you are supposed to do the nasyam every day. So snigdhavadana, snigdhanisvana, there will be a sweetness in the voice, or there won't be any difficulty in the speech. And vimalendriya, which is very important because all the sense organs are situated in the head. So vimala indriya means cleanliness in the sense organs. So quality of the sense organs will increase. The nasyam will enhance function of the sense organs, which is very important. And nirvali palita vyanga, that means it protect from the early graying of the hair. There's one more benefit of doing the nasyam. When we do the nasyam, it stimulates the pituitary gland, and behind that there is a hypothalamus. So that is controlling so many functions in the body, especially the uterine functions, the ovarian functions, thyroid, metabolism, sleep, your mood disorders, emotions. So these kind of things are controlled by these two glands. So when you do the nasyam, it enhances the pituitary and the hypothalamus. It can correct the functions every day. So next is oil pulling. That means sneha gandusha dharanam. Oshthasphudana parushya mukhashosha dijamaya nasyu sarobaghatascha sneha gandusha dharanal. This is the benefit of sneha gandusha dharanam. That means oil pulling. So it has become a trend nowadays, keeping oil of 1 or 2 teaspoons and gargling it for 10 to 15 minutes and spitting it out. So what happens when you do the oil pulling every day? Oil is having a special capacity to create a layer inside, like a protective shield. So it will protect the gums and the teeth, especially the sesame oil. And sesame oil can be used for everyone. So when you do this oil pulling every day, there is less chance of cracks in the mouth ulcers and bad odor in the mouth. And nasyu sarobaghatascha, that means less chance of problem with the speech. So once you have done the sneha gandusha dharana every day, it is having lot of benefits. And coming to the nasyam and the sneha gandusha dharanam all together, nowadays there are many people, they are suffering from so many kinds of allergies. Why allergy is happening? So one thing is there will be less immunity, and there should be an allergen to enter inside the body. The main orifices through the allergens comes inside is the nose and the mouth. So when you do the nasyam and the sneha gandusha dharanam, then it creates a layer inside. So it can protect entry of the microorganisms. Indirectly it can prevent the allergies. But you are supposed to do it every day. Acharya is giving so much importance to the abhyangam, that means oil application over the body, which is very significant to improve the health. Abhyangam nityam sa jarashramavataha drishti prasada pushtyayu swapna suttvaktva dardhyagal. So this is the benefit of doing abhyanga every day, that means oil application every day. Sa jarashramavataha. Jara means old age, that means aging can be arrested if you apply the abhyangam every day. Shrama means laziness, not interest in doing anything, that is shrama. Vataha, that means it can balance the imbalance of Vayu. Because Ayurveda people are so much worried about Vayu, because Vayu is controlling all our functions, and its imbalance can lead to any kind of disease in the body. It can lead to death. Drishti prasada, that means it can improve the quality of vision. Nowadays there are many people, especially the children, they are using the specs because of the impairment in the vision. So I am not saying that only because they are not applying oil every day they are getting the problem with the vision. But one thing is very much sure, that if you apply oil every day over the head, then there will be less chance of getting any problem with the eyes. Drishti prasada. Pushtyayu, it can increase the health in that lifespan. Swapna, it can enhance the sleep. There are many people, they are having insomnia, that means less sleep or reduced sleep. So oil application is the best remedy for that. And swapna suttvaktva, if you apply oil over the body, it can increase the complexion. The skin problems can be avoided if you do the oil application every day. So these are the benefit of Abhyangam as a part of Dinacharya. And where all you have to do it every day. It may not be practically possible applying oil all over the body and keeping it for half an hour and taking bath. So what is a practical way to do it? Shira Shravana Padeshu Tam Visheshena Shilayel. So you are supposed to apply oil every day over the Shira, Shravana and Pada. So Shira means head. So why it is important to apply oil every day over the head? Nowadays most of the people, they don't apply oil over the head because it doesn't look good. It is okay, it should not affect their appearance. So at least they can apply 2 or 3 drops of oil over the head, because that head is called as the position of Brahmarandhram, that is the second opening for the brain, because through that the medicine will not go inside, but its potency will go inside, because one of the quality of the oil is Vyavaitam, that means it can penetrate deep inside and it will stimulate or enhance the functions of the nervous system. And we all know the bodily functions are controlled by the nervous system. So if you apply oil every day over the head, it can increase the function of the nervous system. And next is Shravana. Shravana means ears. And just for the understanding purpose, I am telling you, if you have the perforation or a hole in the eardrum, you are not supposed to do the oil application inside the ears. So how to apply oil to the ears? Just dip the little finger in the oil and just keep it and apply it here, not inside, because the main seat of Vayu is the ears. That is the reason, to keep the balance of Vayu, we are supposed to do Abhyangam inside the ears. Next is Padam. So how feet is so much important in the Abhyangam purpose, that too every day. There is a science called reflexology. So each part of the feet is directly connected with each organ inside the body. So now we can understand how important applying oil over the feet, and it is directly related with your eyes. So these 3 areas, that means Shira, Shravana and Pada. So in these 3 areas you are supposed to apply oil every day. Next is Vyayamam. People are so much fond of 6 packs and ultimately they get a family pack. So these difficulties people used to focus, whether that is actually required or not, or how Vyayamam can influence a person. So Laghavam, Karma Samarthyam, Deeptogni, Medasakshaya, Vibhakta Ghanagatratvam, Vyayamad Ubajayate. So it doesn't mean that you should get a 6 pack. You have to do the Vyayamam or the exercise according to the body. But if you do that suitable exercise every day on a regular basis, you will get these kind of benefits. They are Laghavam, lightness of the body. So suppose you are around 50 or 60 kg, but you feel that you are carrying yourself, then it's of no use. Then there won't be lightness. If your body is not light, then you feel that you are carrying your body, then your mind also will not be focused. So there won't be a good healthy mind. So if you do Vyayamam every day, you will feel that lightness, that means like a feather. Next is Karma Samarthyam. Karma Samarthyam means what? There is a lot of difference between the talent and the skill. The talent can come from the birth or by birth, but skill you have to develop. So whatever you do, it should be skillful. So that skillfulness will get if you do Vyayamam every day, because you will get a presence of mind. That is why Vyayamam is so much important when you talk about a job or work purpose. Laghavam Karma Samarthyam. Deepto Agni. That means it can enhance the digestive system. As we all know, Agni or the digestive power is the base or the root for the immunity, because from the food it converts into each body parts and ultimately to the immunity or ojas. So if you do Vyayamam every day, it can indirectly enhance the immunity. And coming to the type of Vyayamam. See, suppose you go for a walk. If one day there is rain, the next day you may be lazy, and that habit will be lost. And suppose you are going for a gym. Okay, when you travel, you cannot carry the gym with you. So what I am trying to say is, these kind of exercise, if you practice, there is a chance of irregularity. There are many people, they do it regularly, but that is a different thing. But when you do the ground exercise, that means ground stretching kind of exercise, you can maintain that regularity. So coming to the importance of Surya Namaskaram. When you do Surya Namaskaram, there will be stretching. So the abdominal organs and the thoracic organs are very important in the human being. When you walk, it doesn't get exercise. But when you do the push-up and do stretching, so that posture will come in the Surya Namaskaram. Then what happens? Then the internal organs also will get the exercise. So the excessive fat which is deposited around the organs will be liquefied with the Vyayamam. But the main thing we all need to understand that we cannot be like others. So somebody has done Surya Namaskaram or the stretching kind of exercise since 20 years. We may not be able to get that kind of perfection. So don't try to be perfect. We will be having our own limitations. You can do it with that. Maybe after 1 or 2 months, you can gradually improve the perfection. And the level of flexibility also differs body to body. So it is better not to compare with others. We can be like us and do the Vyayamam every day. So when you do the Surya Namaskaram, the pranayama also comes along with, because when you exhale and bend forward, that is the maximum we can do. But by inhaling, you can't bend forward your maximum. So this is how the pranayama is connected unknowingly with the Surya Namaskaram. So Surya Namaskaram can be considered as the complete exercise. The significant thing about the Vyayamam or the exercise is Ardha Shakti. That means when to stop the Vyayamam, which is very, very important. Because we can read in the news that sportsmen and those who are into the fitness, they are just dying in their young age. So that could be because they were pushing themselves to be perfect, or they were not able to understand when to stop doing the Vyayamam. So this is called Ardha Shaktya Nishevyastu Balibhi Snigdha Bhojibhi Shidagale Vasandecha Mandameva Tadonyada. So this is told that the concept of Ardha Shakti is a unique thing in the Ayurveda, because you are supposed to stop doing Vyayama just before getting too tired. You are supposed to understand or differentiate between the tiredness and the laziness. That is in our hand. So just before getting the too much tiredness, you are supposed to stop. That is called as Ardha Shakti. So it varies season to season. In hot climate, you are supposed to stop even before. So this is the concept called Ardha Shakti. So if you follow the suitable Vyayama in a suitable time, in a suitable way, and stop according to the Ardha Shakti, then you can increase your health. Next is Snanam, that means taking bath. Why it is so significant? Why taking bath is so significant? Deebanam Vrishyamayushyam Snanam Urjabalapradam Kandu Mala Shramasveda Daha Papmajil. So this is the shloka of Snana. If you are taking bath every day, and this is the benefit. So there is a beautiful system in the Kalari, that means the martial arts. After they apply oil, that means Abhyangam, all over the body, and do Vyayamam, that means the exercise, then they do the Snanam, that means taking bath. So this system is very important, and by this we can get the full benefit of oil application and exercise. So if it is possible, everybody can follow that. Otherwise, after Abhyangam, that means oil bath, they can have a bath. So what are the benefit of it? Deebanam, that means if you are taking bath every day, it enhances the digestive power, and indirectly it is stimulating the immunity. The next is Vrishyam. Vrishyam means it increases the potency of a person, so which is very important. Deebanam, Vrishyam, Ayushyam, which is good for maintaining the health or lifespan. It doesn't expand the lifespan. In that lifespan, he can lead a healthy life. Snanam, Urja Balapradam. Urja means energy. See, there are many people, they have low energy. So after taking bath, they feel that they are energetic. So giving energy is a special property of Snanam. Balapradam, that means if you are taking bath every day, it can enhance the strength of a person. And a very significant shloka about the snanam or the bath is Ushnambuna adhakayasya parisheko balavaha teneva uttamangasya balahril kesha chakshusham. That means if you are using hot water for the head, which is very dangerous for the sense organs, dangerous for the hair and the eyes especially. So why it is so? All sense organs including the hair root are very fragile and soft. So if you use hot water for the head, it can degenerate the sense organs because sense organs are situated in the head and the head is the main sthana of kapha. Kapha is very soft and smooth. So if you pour hot water, it can melt and indirectly it can lead to degeneration. That means its functions can be impaired. Next is Anjanam. That means applying kajal on the eyes. Sauviramanjanam nityam hitam akshno stato bhajil chakshu tejomayam tasya visheshal shreshmato bhayam. So this is the benefit of applying kajal every day in the eyes. So what is available in the market? We don't know how much we can rely on it because everybody know carbon is not so good for the eyes. So we can prepare the kajal even at home. So if you apply the kajal every day, a proper kajal, then it can increase the vision. So we can prepare the kajal at home. There is a beautiful shloka in Malayalam that is പൂവാങ്കുറുന്തല പിഴിഞ്ഞ രസത്തിൽ മുക്കി ശോഷിക്ക നല്ല നിഴലിൽ തുണി 3 നാളിൽ തെച്ചിടപൂ പുളിഞ്ഞരമ്പു വരാ സുചൂർണം കൂട്ടിത്തിരച്ചതിരി കണ്ണിൽ മഷിക്കുന്നന്നു. There is a plant called Puvangurundala. Take juice out of it and dip this clean cloth into that. Keep it for a day and night you are supposed to dry it. And again the next day the same cloth you have to dip in the freshly taken the Puvangurundala juice. So continue this procedure for 3 days. So that clean cloth will be coated with 3 rounds of Puvangurundala juice. And into that cloth you have to powder triphala and some leaf that is called as techi and all and make a wick out of it. So this wick we can use for lightening the lamp and we have to use sesame oil to lighten the lamp. So you have to keep a clean mud pot in a such a way that flame of this particular wick should be kept just under the pot. So keep it overnight and the next day there will be carbon or deposit. Scrape that carbon and mix it with castor oil or ghee and that can be used as a fresh kajal. This will increase the vision. Dinacharya is mentioned to improve the quality of health. Health means the health of the physique and the mind. But there is another concept called Achara Rasayanam for improving the mental attitude. So if you go in detail in the Achara Rasayanam, it is like a Bhagavad Gita. That means there are so many do's and don'ts which we have to follow. Whatever is said in the Achara Rasayanam, everything is important. But I am going to highlight a few points here. Based on the dharma or the truthfulness, the Achara Rasayanam is built. Sukharthaha sarvabhutanam madaha sarvaha pravurtaya sukham chana vina dharmal tasmal dharma paro bhavel is mentioned in the Achara Rasayanam. That means sukharthaha, a person or a human being is a sukharthi, that all living beings love comfort or happiness. But if you are too much into that and deviating from the dharma, that means the truthfulness or the kindness, then that happiness or the comfort doesn't last for longer period. Based on this dharma or the dharma adhishtita mana is very important in the mental attitude. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. This is the saying we heard about from the childhood. That means if we protect the dharma can protect you. So even in the childhood we heard about so many stories. That means there'll be a good person or a bad person, and ultimately towards the end of the story that bad person loses his things. These kind of stories we can understand how important to be a dharma person. There are 10 activities or karmas we are supposed to avoid. They are himsa, steyam, anyathakamam, paishunyam, parushamritam, sambhinnalabam, vyapadam, abhidhyam, drugviparayam, pabam karmepi dashadha, kaya vam manasihi tejil. So a person has to avoid these activities with kaya, that means body, vak, with words, and mind, manaha. So we all know what is good and what is bad, but Acharya is specifically mentioning about these 10 activities because we have to be more careful about these. They are himsa, killing or torturing others. So, and steyam means stealing or robbery. Anyatha kamam, desire for others' property or others' relationship, those kind of thing. And next is the papa karma about the bad activity about the word. They are paishunyam, parusha, amrita, and the sambhinalabam. That means the words to torture others, like a conversation, like separating a relationship, harsh words. So these kind of things we have to avoid. Then sambhinnalapa, vyapadam, abhidhya, vyapadam. Vyapadam means quarreling or intention to quarrel. That is vyapadam. Then abhidhya. Abhidhya means jealousy. If somebody else got something new or a good thing, or they have improved in their life, then we will be having a jealousy. So that should not happen. 10th papakarma is drugviparayam. That means nastigata, not believing in the God. Here the concept of God is entirely different. It doesn't mean that you have to go to the mosque, church or temple. Knowing ourselves, knowing or understanding the inner self is called as astigata. So if you don't understand about that, then if you go to temple or mosque or church, it's of no use. And another concept which comes in the Acharya Sayana is Anuyayal Pradipadam Sarva Dharmeshu Madhyamam. That means the balance in the life. There will be a lot of difficulties and the happiness in the life. So if you go to the extremes, then that can affect the mind in a wrong way. So Sarva Dharmeshu Madhyamam is the ideal way to maintain the mental health. इति आचार समासेन यं प्राप्नोति समाचरन् आयुरारोग्यम ऐश्वर्यम यशो लोकांश्च शाश्वतान्. So if somebody is following the Acharya Rasayana in a proper way, then he can be a healthy living being, including the mental health and the physical health.